Hey, this is Pastor Kathy. Welcome back to another motivational moment, our morning devotionals that we do here at Freedom Church. And this week we're doing, starting into a new kind of topic and a new series for our devotionals, A Key to Kingdom Living. A Key to Kingdom Living. And this week we're talking about forgiveness. Forgiveness as a key to how we live in God's kingdom and live God's way. We talked about what is forgiveness. We talked about why do we do it? And today I want to talk to you real briefly. How do we actually know if we've done it? How do we actually know? I think sometimes we can believe that we've actually forgiven somebody, maybe because we said we forgive them or we think it. But I think that sometimes we fool ourselves or are in denial or even lie to ourselves, because the reality is that there's some things that have taken root in our heart, and they then begin to come out of our mouth and through our attitude, and it would suggest that things aren't forgiven, as I say. So what am I talking about? I think that when we've forgiven somebody, it shows up in the way we talk about a person. That when somebody would hear us talking about a situation or a person or something that may have happened, it doesn't sound like we're angry. We may have been angry before. We may have been angry for a long time. We may have been angry and we may have been hurt. But when something has been resolved and released and let go, that which used to affect me before no longer affects me now, because I have released that thing, right? What did we say? Forgiveness is the wiping away of an offense. It is and by the one who offended us. Forgiveness forgiveness is linked to restoration. If it sounds like there is not restoration, there has not been healing, then maybe it's a sign that you actually have not. But when you can talk about a thing, when you can engage with a person and you don't have anger bubbling up on the inside, you don't have you saying things and you having that conversation, you're not doing that, then maybe it's a sign that you have forgiven. I need you to hear that when we forgive, restoration and healing, restoration of broken relationships, restoration to you, restoration of that situation, it comes with it. If there's no restoration, then I want to offer that maybe there's no forgiveness. I heard a message by Joyce Myers recently, and she was talking about forgiveness. She shared this story. I knew in part Joyce Myers has a history of sexual abuse in her past. And in this message she was given, she shared about as a child, she had been raped by her father. And she had calculated, because the abuse was so methodical, it was over 200 times that she had been raped by her own father. She was telling the story about how when her parents were getting up in age, that the Lord instructed her that to bring her parents out from wherever they were living to where she was living, and that they would come live close by, actually not necessarily in the home, but close by. She was talking about how she actually wrestled with that for quite a long time. And she tried to do it her way, the way where she bought the house, buying them a house maybe where they lived, and rather than bringing her parents close to the community where she was. And God kept shutting things down until she finally surrendered. And her father, for sure, I don't remember about her mother, brother, father, for much of his life did not know the Lord, had not walked with the Lord. And she finally surrendered to the Lord, bought them a house close by, got them set up, bought them their furniture for this house, a car that they needed, and everything. And at some point during that journey, she led her father to Jesus. She led her father to Jesus, and he asked for forgiveness from the wrong that he had done, the abuse towards her over all those years. And she received it. She had already received forgiveness and healing within her own life. And honestly, you would have to, right? Such a traumatic experience, to experience such horrific things, and then the Lord instruct you that you would help support somebody who had been so horrendous to you, and somebody who was supposed to be safe. When I listened to her talk about her story and her testimony, you could tell that there was nothing of the old connected to her heart. No resentment, no anger, no bitterness. That the Lord had healed her and her heart and her relationship with her father for the remaining of his time left. And it could only be the Lord to think about such horrific abuse, that you could talk about such a circumstance, a situation, and be obedient to God and do it. The Lord has to do it. But you could hear in how she spoke about it that there was healing in her heart, and that they had actually experienced true healing in their relationship. That could only be a God thing. That could only be a Holy Spirit thing. It is the Holy Spirit that gives us the power and the courage to be able to let something go. And I want to suggest to you that how we sound and talk about a thing is a reflection, as if we truly have had forgiveness in our heart and in our life. I want to encourage you to think about your own life and places and where you've had offense and been offended and hurt by people. When you talk about them, when you think about them, does anger and agitation stir up within you, or are you able to talk about it from a place of healing and wholeness as a result of having experienced healing in your own life because you've truly forgiven them? Hey, we can't wait to see you tomorrow as we continue to dive